I am the world's only Equestria Girls fan. You see, being a fan of something isn't just about praising it, it's also about criticising it. Because if you like something, then you want that thing to be as good as possible, and therefore when it does something bad or lazily, a true fan should call it out. And that is why I am the world's only Equestria Girls fan. Because I can praise and criticise. Now some of you may be thinking, did I nick this from Jim Sterling? And yes. Because I am the world's only Jimquisition fan. This special begins... It's weird that I have to refer to this as a special. It's not an episode or a film. This special begins with Applejack and Rarity waiting to hear back from a summer job they applied to do together. Wait, I know I said they were a couple in Legend of Everfree, but I was joking. Sort of. They do make an adorable couple. And it's all the more adorable that they applied for summer jobs together. They then get emails.
One new email! It's from the park! You open yours first! No, you open yours first!
Turns out Rarity has been hired to work as a costume designer, and Applejack didn't get the job.
Well, I'm not going to accept it without you, obviously. We plan to spend the summer together, and that's what we're going to do.
You're taking the job, and that's final.
It's cute how Rarity considers turning down the job to be with her partner, and Applejack has to be the one to tell her to take the job. It's also very fitting for those two characters, given that Applejack is very practical and Rarity is very... Rarity. Anyway, Rarity begins her first day at the job.
My name is Vignette Valencia, and to answer your first question, yes, I'm that Vignette, but no, I do not think I'm better than you just because I have 3 million followers on Snapchat.
What, is that like Facebook or something? Corns. Rarity phones Applejack. Hang on. Applejack works on the farm and yet she still needs a part-time job. Granny Smith, you cheap bitch. Why don't you give her an allowance? Or maybe the money is for college or university. Perhaps Applejack in this universe has dreams and ambitions beyond Apple products. They go to Equestria Land and...
Equestria Land opening day! What should we do first? Appaloosa Wild West Stunt Show? Nightmare Moon's Haunted Castle? Sugar Cube everything?
Is Equestria this place is named after, similar to Disney in Disneyland? Then Rarity introduces them to Vignette, who's also an online celebrity.
Hashtag bangs.
Yeah, she's over 18, right? Vignette decides to have the Rainbooms play in the parade. Wait, is Pinky's shoes the same colour as her tights, or is she wearing open-toed sandals and white tights? She looks like her dad dressed her. They all go to see the park. Oh, this is going to be fun. Boo, boo!
That was actually kind of fun.
What? You know, when I started watching MLP, I expected there to be an episode that showed a young Fluttershy that was brash and confident like Rainbow Dash, and a young Rainbow Dash who was shy and timid like Fluttershy. Now I'm seeing it and it doesn't live up to what I imagined in my head.
Everyone in the band has a new role. It's part of my bold new vision. All caps, Helvetica 65. Fluttershy, bad girl. Spiked hair, ripped tights. I've already commissioned an A-list graffiti/sneaker artist to tag up a custom guitar. How do you feel about skulls?
So, Flutterpunk. Well, it wouldn't be the first time DHX relied on memes for easy fan praise.
Maybe I, shouldn't do it at all.
Vignette then takes a picture of Fluttershy that beams her into her phone. How do you combine magic to two different pieces of technology and then come up with the exact same thing? Vignette's phone works in the exact same way as Juniper Montage's mirror did in Mirror Magic. I would call it a mistake, but given how many times DHX have repeated the same tragic backstory with the villains in Friendship is Magic, I'm rather inclined to believe they're seeing if they can get away with repeating the same villain over and over again in Equestria Girls. We then switch over to Twilight and Sunset.
Twilight? They're just giving you the old bump and tingle to lure you in. These games are rigged.
Yeah, like thread between the bottles.
You were pretty close, though. Maybe we should try one more time?
Remember that time Sunset wanted to be someone's pet?
Guess who just mapped out a perfect projectile trajectory taking into account propulsion, gravity, and aerodynamic drag? This gal. Bet you thought I forgot about friction, air drag, and varying initial velocities. Well, guess what? I didn't.
Did you account for there's thread between the bottles? You throw the hoop onto the bottle and then the thread causes it to bounce off. Although, do Flim and Flam get money for those tickets?
I don't like to lose.
Good thing she's never seen my channel. Is that Megan? I always feel like somebody's watching me. And they work for DHX. Applejack finds Pinky, who's come up with Fun Inspector. She makes Applejack a deputy fun inspector. Because making something up on the spot makes it totally legit.
Why didn't you tell me you were a deputy fun inspector?
But I keep telling you I'm not a pilot. And I keep telling you, you flyboys crack me up!
So sorry about that, ma'am. Here's my workstation. It hasn't been fun inspected in years.
It's work. It's not meant to be fun, ya fud. Anyway, the security guard leaves Applejack with the security monitors, where she sees Vignette beam Rainbow Dash into her phone. Also, I noticed that the sleeves to Vignette's top aren't attached to the rest of it. It's like a boob tube with anime sleeves. With a few more belts, she looked like a Final Fantasy character. Applejack tries to warn her friends about what she saw Vignette do to Rainbow Dash. None of them believe her, especially after she fails to make a mannequin disappear. And then her and Rarity have a fight.
Applejack, admit it. You don't care about my parade.
My parade? This isn't about you. She's done something to our friends. You're so blind you can't even see she's using you. You only like her because she's always blowing smoke up your chimney. But that's what she does to everyone. You're not special.
I like this because couples don't get along all the time. Something that a lot of people deny. An argument isn't the sign of a toxic or abusive relationship, it's just a natural thing that people won't always see eye to eye. I mean, think about your family. Parents, siblings, whatever. Do you love them? Do you always get along? I'm guessing you said yes to the first part, no to the second. And partners are the same. I is an expert. After Applejack leaves, the main six realise she isn't the type to lie. So Vignette makes Sunset, Twilight and Pinky disappear too. And then she makes Sunset Shimmer look ridiculous. After Rarity sees that her and her friends have been replaced with a phone app, Vignette tries to make Rarity disappear as well. But she defends herself with diamond shields. Wouldn't that make the phone fill with diamonds? Rarity gets away and finds Applejack.
I'm sorry I lost sight of why we applied for jobs here in the first place.
And I'm sorry I got jealous. I felt like I was losing my best friend.
You didn't.
Twilight then phones Applejack from inside Vignette's phone. But Applejack can also hear her voice outside. So she follows Twilight's voice right to a tiny room. That I didn't expect. I was expecting this to be a repeat of the mirror in the miniseries. I mean it is, but not as much. Although, how did they not hear the park outside?
My friends are in that crowd. Sweetie Belle is in that crowd.
Human Rarity is Human Sweetie Belle's mother. Horrible implications aside, the main six go to stop the parade and Vignette's trail of ego before she takes a picture of the crowd to change them to how she likes. I actually like this. In Equestria Girls, the bad guy is always corrupted by magic in some way, but in this it's more feeding off the negative parts of Vignette's character. A normal, well-adjusted person likely wouldn't use such a thing to change people. But Vignette's socially maladjusted? I will admit I'm a bit out of my depth with this psychology stuff. But Lily Orchard knows what she's talking about, and she once said how you treat a trivial subject is a reflection on how you treat a serious subject. So I'm guessing when Vignette said at the start she wished there was a filter for real life, like in Snapgap, this magic disguised as an app that can change things in real life is her dream come true. This probably needs a psychologist.
What I really want has been right in front of me the whole time. My friends.
Wait, doesn't this undermine the end of friendship games? I mean, they defeated Principal Cinch because no one would believe her if she accused CHS of using magic to cheat. But no one here seems to flinch when Rarity uses magic to destroy Vignette's phone. And then Vignette gives us her sob story.
Friends? I have 3 million followers, and no real friends. How pathetic is that?
They're going to forgive her, aren't they? Then again, compared to most antagonists in MLP, she is somewhat forgivable. Like I said, she wasn't trying to destroy the world because of friends, she just let her ego get the better of her. Although I am wondering if each of the main 6 will get an antagonist to defeat. I mean, Sunset had Wallflower, and Rarity had Vignette.
Easy fix.
She looks like she's wearing a lampshade. Wait, that's not a flashback? If this was a Netflix original series, they'd have kissed. And that's Roller Coaster of Friendship. Vignette is an interesting premise, but her execution is rather sloppy. She almost seems to be working from the premise, what if Juniper Montage was as famous as she thought she should have been? I can't say for certain, but they're so similar that that's the thought I come up with. One wanted to be famous, whereas the other let fame go to her head. It also doesn't help that the phone and the mirror work in the exact same way. The reason this bugs me so much is because Rarity and Applejack's relationship is so good. And yet it has to share time with such a weak villain. Not only that, but this is the first Equestria Girls thing you could watch without watching Friendship is Magic first. If you'd allow me to go off on a tangent, Friendship is Magic is so obsessed with sucking off the fandom that it never thinks, maybe our message is slightly messed up. It would rather make a meme episode than celebrate getting to 100 episodes with dignity. Instead of treating its heavier subjects like child abuse or self-harm carefully, it would rather say, friendship and forgiveness solves everything. Let's be honest, I'm glad Friendship is Magic is ending after season 9. Because it's such a disaster now. But Equestria Girls is still going, and still has potential. You can do it! I believe in you! Please be good.